Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday and welcome to our digital training tonight. So happy to have so many of you on board already. I can see the numbers are sort of jumping quite quickly there, so a lot of people are just jumping on now. So welcome, guys. Those of you that I don't know, or don't know me, I should say, my name is Sally Baker. I'm one of the national trainers for Amway of Australia and New Zealand. So tonight I'm really excited to be bringing you something quite different. I mean, it's very challenging, very tough time, and things are changing so rapidly. It's almost sort of hour by hour we're getting all these updates and changes about what's going on as a result of the pandemic at the moment. And we know that it's really hard for a lot of people. We know that, there's a lot of fear around, a lot of us feeling quite scared. When there's the unknown, it's really hard to know what's going on and what we should really be doing and thinking and feeling. But we really are wanting to look at ways that we can help you guys, not only with your own health, with staying safe, with looking after yourself when you are isolating yourself as well, but also really staying connected. And that's something that we're so lucky to have at the moment, is that we can now stay so connected with everybody, not only people that we would see on a regular basis, but even people across the world. We can stay connected with our family, we can stay connected with our friends, and we can also stay really connected within our business. Now, that's something that we're really going to be focusing on a lot tonight, is how you can use some of these tools, which we know that a lot of IBOs, and in particular our leaders, are doing an absolutely amazing job at using in helping them connect their businesses and grow their businesses exponentially. So we're really taking a leaf out of a lot of our leaders' books and showing you some of the tools that I know they're using really successfully in their business, and helping you guys to actually apply them and figure out which ones are going to work best for you and your team moving forward as well. So I can see we've got a lot more people that have just jumped on. Well, we've had a really big jump while I was talking. So welcome on board, everybody. Now, I would love it if you could let me know that you can hear me, that you can see the screen. So it should say #stayconnected, and that everything's working on your end. Maybe just drop in the chat box there that where you're listening from as well. Oh, thanks, Valentina. Thanks, Dinesh. Awesome. So you guys can all hear. That's great. Yep, awesome. So it'll just be this screen there, guys. Yep, from Sydney, Christchurch. Hi there, welcome. I'm from Wellington, Ferntree Gully, Brisbane. Another one from Wellington, WA. Fantastic, awesome, guys. Great to see all of you on tonight. And yes, you'll just see the slides tonight as we go through. So I'm sure a lot of you are aware that it's really important during this time to look after yourselves, and to really take care of not only your physical health, but also your mental health as well. And part of that is really about staying connected with those people around you that are important. And I know in our household over the last week, I think we've been Zooming for like 10 to 12 hours a day, between my 3 kids or trying to catch up with their school friends, their cousins, their grandparents, and me catching up with friends, my husband catching up with friends. This is the way that we've all stayed really connected, and even for schoolwork now, this is how they're digitally staying connected because they're not at school, so they're really staying in contact with what's going on in the school community, and their classmates and their teachers all by digital. And it's so important, I think, as we move through this crisis, to help with our mental health moving forward. And it's not just family and friends. We know that obviously work is incredibly important, and for a lot of us at the moment, that can be quite a hard juggling act. Some people have lost their jobs. Some people don't know whether they've got one, for more than a couple of weeks' time. So it can be really challenging, and we want to make sure that you guys with this business really understand how unique it is, that you can actually really use this time to connect with people digitally, to connect on socials, and really help to grow your team, or at least get your team on the best sort of, forward step around what's happening in this business to help them grow and to help you grow at the same time. So that's where we're looking at tonight, how we can use a lot of these digital tools to really help you grow your business. Now, at Amway, we've also been working really hard. We understand it is a very difficult time, and we've been working on something that we're calling the 8-point plan. You will be getting a lot of communication sent out around this. You probably have already received an email or two, and certainly you'll be receiving more as this plan sort of rolls out over the next couple of months. Now, within the plan, there will be some great offers there. There'll be things like PV uplifts, there'll be free delivery on auto ship, free product coupons. There will also be extra bundles put into the pay right options. We're going to be building a great new digital campaign, which is time to start your side hustle, which is a great one because we know that, in this, people want that sort of, more stability, and this is a business that can really provide that for people. We've also got multipliers, we've got the artistry studio sale, and then finally, but certainly not least important, is stay connected. And that's really what we're going to be going through tonight, how you can really stay connected with your team, with your downline, with your upline, and also with your customers as well, and also help to grow your business in this time by using socials as well. So part of the stay connected realm of information that we've got for you is going to be part of our webinar series. So this is part one, which is the overview of all your digital tools that you've got available to you. So it's really just going to be taking a quick look at what might be suitable for you and your team so that you can really streamline what tools you will be using. Next week and the following week, we'll be going into a lot more detail about how to actually use these tools. So I'll do a bit of a step-by-step guide as to how you can log on to these tools and how you can use them for both a group setting and also in smaller sort of chats as well. And then in module 4, I'll take you through our digital tools that we have with Amway, which are multiples. We've got so many different incredible new benefits with our new website, which was only launched a couple of weeks ago. And we've also got e-learning, we've got Studio IBO and all of our socials as well. So I'll introduce you to those in module 4. Now, I know a lot of you are already probably using some of these tools, but you might just be using them more for personal use at the moment. So we're going to show you how you can actually incorporate that into your business as well. So tonight, as I said, we're doing an overview. So we're really going to take a look at ways that, ways to support you through this, because obviously that is really important that you do take care of yourself. We know that it is a very stressful time. Everybody is feeling it. So it's really important to take care of you. It's a great time to really, support your team as well, dig deep and support your team and your downlines and also your customers as well. We're also going to go through a few quick tips on the social media and how you can really build your presence during this time as well on social media. So first of all, I think it's really important for your own health to really, think about the way that you're dealing with this crisis. There's always positives in every situation, particularly for most of us. If you are still healthy, some of the positives are that we can use this time, which for a lot of us is a little bit quieter at the moment. I know for me, during the days can be quite hectic and busy, homeschooling 3 kids and working, but we're not sort of, we're not rushing around after that. We're not going to football and music classes and tutoring and all those kind of things that really do tend to take up a lot of time in the week. So it's a great time to really, get focused in, get focused on having a positive mindset around your business, get focused on that growth mindset as well. And that can come from learning a lot more about business and learning a lot more about your products. So really that comes back to education. And we're so lucky at this time, in this day and age, that we do have all of these digital tools with us that are really easily accessible. And a lot of them, which I'll show you coming up, are actually free as well. And they can really help you to support your team and to grow that larger audience and connect with people. So really important to try and stay in that really positive mindset as we go through this as much as possible. So as I mentioned, stay connected is one of the points of the 8-point plan that Amway is putting together. Now within stay connected, this is all about us connecting digitally with you guys, as well as you connecting digitally with your team and your customers as well. So as we're going to go through tonight, we're going to identify for you which are the best online channels that are going to work for you and for your team. I'm also part of the Stay Connected is the online training that you have at your fingertips. So I'll go through that in a little bit as well. Now, something that's very new, it's still a little bit of a work in progress, but it should be up and running hopefully by the end of the week or first thing next week, is that all of our consultants that are usually in the business centres, so all the naturopaths and the beauty consultants, are now going to be available for virtual consults. So they'll be using some of these tools that we're talking about as well to stay connected with you guys and still provide their advice to you as well, their professional advice to you. So look out for those. You'll be getting an email around that fairly shortly. And then lastly, our webinars. We're going to be delivering around 43 webinars over the coming couple of months. Part of that is the digital modules that I just spoke about, and also a lot of product webinars as well to keep you really up to date with anything new that's coming out, and really just just doubling up on your knowledge of the product, so that can help you when you're talking to customers as well. Lastly, lots of new things coming out on Facebook Live. We're kind of encouraging you guys to double up on getting your presence out there on Facebook, and we are definitely working on doing the same thing as well. So if you're not on our Facebook page, highly recommend you jump over there, because there's going to be some amazing information coming out over the coming months on Facebook there through Facebook Live. Now, our e-learning. So e-learning you can access on the new website, and we've got over 100 online courses that you can choose from, so you can do them anytime you want. All you need to do is be able to log into the website. So if you've got internet connection, then you should be able to jump onto the e-learning courses, and all of the materials that we have there can also be shared with your downline. And I was talking to someone the other day, and they were saying what they actually do is they all sort of talk about which courses they're going to do each week, and then they catch up and have a chat about it. So it's a great way to really instill that learning that you've done, rather than just reading it. You're then actually talking about it and talking about how you could use that to talk to customers as well. So that'd be great. You all do some courses offline, and then you come together for a group chat and talk about what you've actually learned. Now, as I said, most of what we're going to go through tonight is the digital tools that are available to you that you can basically use to help grow your team and support your team during this time. So firstly, which digital tools can you use to help conduct meetings? So this is where you've probably got more than 10 people, but less than 100. So if you're less than 100, you can actually use most of these platforms for free. Now, the first one, which I've already mentioned we're using quite a lot in our house at the moment, is Zoom. And I do find, schools are using it. I'm finding for a lot of, more social sort of catch-ups, that seems to be the thing that people are sort of pushing towards a bit more. It's a really user-friendly system. It only takes about 5 minutes to set up, and very simple to actually invite people into Zoom. If you're using it on a computer, you don't need to do anything else apart from sort of click on a link to say I want to join this meeting. Whereas if you're joining it on a mobile device, you just need to download the app for it. But it's really simple for most people to use that. If you're using the free version, it's supposed to have a 40-minute limit. To be honest, my kids have been using it, speaking to all of their cousins for a lot more than 40 minutes. Doesn't seem to cut out. Don't know whether that's sort of just because of the craziness of the world at the moment. But yeah, it's a great option there when you've got somewhere between around about sort of 10 to 20 people. It can be a lot less, even 2 people it works incredibly well for, to be honest, but it works really well at around that 10 mark as well. You can actually see everybody on the screen at the same time, so you don't have to have one person just sort of presenting to everybody else. But I always say to people as a reminder, make sure that you tell everybody at the very beginning that they are on the screen. There's been some very unusual videos going around of people using Zoom and not realizing that they're on the screen and doing quite embarrassing things. So don't do that. Just let people know that they are all on the screen. Next is Facebook Live. Now, Facebook Live is a little bit different. It's not where you're actually interacting and having a conversation with other people. Facebook Live is where you're basically doing a live video. So you're just talking to your video, and I'm sure that a lot of you would have seen your leaders and your uplines doing like walk and talks. So going out for their daily walk and just giving you their thoughts as they're going out. The engagement when you're doing a Facebook Live is exponentially better than if you just do a video and post that. It's more motivational, it's more inspiring because people can ask you the questions at the time, and more people will actually see you. So sometimes if you just post something, it gets lost in our scroll or in our feed, sorry, and we'll just scroll straight past it. When it's live, it tends to actually go to the top of the page, and people are more likely to see it, and then more likely to actually engage with it and ask you questions. So highly recommend to do Facebook Lives if you've not done them before. I know for a lot of people they can be a bit daunting the first time that you do them, but honestly they get easier every single time. So go ahead and do it, and it doesn't need to be long. It only needs to be for a couple of minutes. Next is Gotowebinar. So that's the one we're using at the moment, and it's been a tool that we've used a lot to deliver webinars to you guys. The benefit of Gotowebinar is it's a little bit more professional, and it's great for when we do have a larger audience. So often to our webinars, we can have up to 300 people coming in. So for that, it's got much better quality to see the screens, and it records. We can go for a lot longer. We find that Gotowebinar is quite good when you're holding those larger meetings. And if you want to get some inspiration, one of our leaders actually posted on our Facebook page the other day that he did a Gotowebinar meeting for 30,000 IBOs across Australia, New Zealand and China, and had amazing sort of feedback from doing that. But how incredible is that? You're able to, be sitting in your home office and actually touch 30,000 people with your message. So that's one more. If you've got those larger audiences, Zoom is more if you're having that sort of chat between people, or more of a meeting style. Okay, what's going on there? Okay, the next up is group chats. Now, group chats are sort of, I guess, a little bit newer. They've been around for quite a few years now, but they're definitely becoming a lot more popular. I know I've certainly been using group chats a lot more since my kids started team sports. It's a great option for the coach or the managers just to be able to shoot out one message rather than having to text, 15 different parents to let them know where they've got to be. And also other people can then answer the questions as well. So it's not always the manager that has to be the one answering their questions. So that's how it can work for you guys as well. If you've got your team, can create a group chat, and you're all in there motivating each other. It's not just you as the leader of the team having to be responsible for everyone. You can sort of all work together, and it's more motivating that way. It's more fun as well. It's a bit more engaging because people can, sometimes ask really good questions. Sometimes it can be a little bit silly, but that's more engaging for people. And if you think of it in terms of, for example, if you send an email to most people, which is what we probably would have done 5 years ago, emails just get totally lost now. Emails have terrible engagement. Most people don't open them, often get sent to junk mails. So group chats are definitely the way to go when you want to get that message out to people. There's a couple of them available. The one that we find is probably the most popular in Australia is actually the WhatsApp. And with that, you can do just chats between groups. You can either do one-on-one or you can do bigger groups. It also gives you the option to do videos. So what has been found in a lot of the feedback is that WhatsApp is really good if you're just doing a one-on-one video. It can get a little bit clunky if you've got more than one person or more than sort of 3 people in a call. WeChat is actually very similar to WhatsApp. It is also available on a desktop as well as a mobile. Good for those group chats, good for one-on-one chats and one-on-one conversations as well. it's very popular in certain countries, and I know it certainly is starting to pick up a little bit more in Australia as well, so that could be an option. But they're quite similar, those two, I must say. And lastly, with group chats, you've also got Facebook Messenger. So this is linked to your Facebook account, but you do need to add a new app or open a new app, but you'll be prompted by Facebook to do that. Most people would probably already have it set up with their Facebook account, so it's already there. You don't need to add anything else, which is good. It's great to share images, it's great to share videos into groups as well as individuals, and you can also chat with people via video through message as well. Okay, so we're going to move on now to some tips to increase your social media presence. So at this time, we know that people's use of social media is going up quite significantly. Our times online is going up because we don't have all those other activities that would keep us really busy to do. So a lot of people are just jumping online a lot more than probably what they would have in the past. Now, I'm going to share some stats with you because we don't have stats about what's been happening over the last few weeks. It's just too early to see those coming out from Facebook or anywhere else. But these are from some stats from the end of last year, so end of 2019, around the people's usage of social media and why we think it's so important for every IBO to have a presence on social media. So some of the stats include 366 million new people started using social media in the past year. So that's not talking about how many people are using it altogether, that's how many new people joined last year. And I would say in the last couple of months, they probably had more than that in there, like a week. I know in particular, bless her, my 94-year-old grandmother who is in a nursing home can't have visitors. So we did set up a Facebook account for her, and so that we can send her photos of the grandkids and the great grandkids and everyone. So yeah, I'm sure that's going to be happening across the country. People who never thought they would have been on Facebook are doing that all of a sudden. Now, the average person, so again, pre-COVID-19, would scroll through about 300 foot of mobile content every day. Apparently, that's the equivalent to the size of the Statue of Liberty. And that's if we're talking about people spending around 2 hours and I think, 2 hours and 24 minutes is what the average person would spend on social media. I'm going to say we're probably doubling that right now. And that, the further we go into lockdown in Australia, that's going to increase even more. Around 50% of the global population is using social media, so that's 3.8 billion people, which has increased, increased in the year 2019, increased 9.2%. There's 140 million businesses that are using Facebook or its related apps, so it could be Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram. Facebook is the world's third most visited website, so that's only after Google and YouTube. And last little fact that we've got for you is 92% of Instagram users say that they follow a brand and then they actually make a purchase from following that brand. So Instagram is a really big riser and it's coming, sort of very quickly starting to get up to the Facebook levels, particularly for your under 35s. They do tend to use Instagram a lot more. So yeah, these social tips that we're going to go through, so we've got 10 social tips, of how to build your presence on social media. They can be used for either Instagram or Facebook, and you'll find a lot of people, a lot of businesses, a lot of influencers are actually posting their content across both platforms as well. So they might tweak it slightly, but in general, they'll put very similar content across both, so they're not recreating the wheel all the time as well. So our top 10 social tips, what can you do to really help grow, your brand? And your brand, when I speak about your brand, we're not talking about the Amway brand, we're talking about you, and we're talking about in your presence on social media. And that is really, first and foremost, it's about finding your niche. It's really determining who you want to be on social media. And, we all know it's not always real life that you see on social media. Sometimes it can, everyone's sucking their stomachs in or, making it look all pretty in the background. And what you don't see around it is total chaos or, they've just eaten a plate of muffins before they've done the shoot or something like that. So, it is about finding your brand that you actually want to put out there. ideally you want to keep it to something that you enjoy, that you're interested in, and it is, it's got to be a little bit about you. So you've got to be able to keep up that persona, and people like things that are real. They can see through, they, crap, basically. People can always see when things are not real. So really important to find that niche by being yourself and, being, something that you really enjoy. Then it's really important to what we call understand the 4 C's when it comes to social media. Now, there's a lot more information around this on one of our e-learning courses, which is around social selling. So I highly recommend that you go and do that, but I'll just quickly go through the 4 C's with you. The first is content. So content is king when it comes to social media. You've got to create really rich, engaging, appealing, and a little bit different content. So it needs to stand out. Next is context. So, there really does have to be some context with what you're putting out. You can't just put out totally random things all the time. You need to build an audience who know, like, and trust you for a particular reason. So, for example, if the reason that I was jumping online all the time was because, take who I am, and something that I'm really passionate about is health and wellness. Being a naturopath, that's what I do. I sort of live and breathe that. So for me, that would be an easy, persona to sort of bring into social media. If I was to then go and do a post on using a whippersnipper, I can hear someone whippersnippering outside my house tonight, people would find that really weird. It wouldn't have any context within the social feed, so they wouldn't like that. So really keeping it in context with your feed. Building a really strong community, and you'll see that that's actually not only part of the 4 C's, but also point 3 and 4 here. And we've spoken about that already tonight, how it's so, so important for our health, for our mental health, for our emotional health at this time to really focus on staying connected with people. And that's about building relationships, nurturing people, being there for them online, because we can't be there for them, in person at the moment. So people are really reaching out for that. They're really looking for that support. And building a community where you can provide that is going to give you a really strong business when you come out of this, not only during it, but also when we come out of this pandemic as well. So really, really important. Make sure that you're building community, building trust with people and nurturing that community and relationship with them as well. Now, lastly is really important with your 4 C's is to add a call to action. So it doesn't need to be buy my product, and ideally it's not the best way to sell things. The best thing to do is, like if you've got an issue, give me a call. I saw a great one the other day of someone that I follow quite a lot. And she said, we know that a lot of people are going through a pretty, crazy and fearful time at the moment. If you have a worry, just DM me. She said, I don't care who you are, just put a DM in there. She said, I may not read everyone and I may not get back to everyone's, but just get it off your chest. But what a great way to engage her community. She's really nurturing them by saying, look, I'm here for you if you need me. If she gets 100,000 people, which she probably will because she's got a lot of followers, writing their problems, that's giving her engagement with her community. They're understanding, they're trusting her to give that information to her. And then she can also build content back related on that. So she can see what the biggest concerns are and she can talk to them about that. And that's, again, really building that relationship and community with people. So yeah, that's the kind of call to actions that you want, not necessarily like buy my product, but how can I help you would be a great call to action, especially in this time. I think that's vitally important. Another thing that you can do with your socials, you can actually hold online events. So don't be scared to do that. You can hold live events. You can put out, calendar and invites to people on Facebook and hold events. Maybe if you're, used to doing artistry, and it's over here, you can see number 7 is actually you can hold an online party. So do hold events online as well for people that invite other people as well. What a great way to build your business. Number 6, you can become a blogger. So you can either write, don't forget you can do video blogs as well. So that's a great way to get content out there if you're not a great writer, or you just, would far better at speaking and enjoy that, then you can just, do vlogs as well. Hold an online shopping party. So this is a great one for, as I mentioned, artistry. If you used to go and actually do artistry parties in people's houses, you can invite a small group of people into a Zoom room or something like that, by giving them out invitations and saying, look, I'm going to be holding a party, you should come along. You can show them how to use the product and the makeup. Great way to create engagement there as well. LinkedIn, don't forget about LinkedIn. I haven't got lots of information on that tonight, but certainly go and have a look how you can utilize that to also build, your social following and your business around LinkedIn as well. And lastly, and I know we've already gone over it a few times, but please, please, please don't forget, you can also share great content. So great content really is king. Doesn't all need to be your content. So ideally you want, a fairly high percentage of your feed to be your own unique content. But if you find something that's really, you think it's really funny, or if you find something online that you think is going to be really helpful to your community, make sure you share it with them. So people are going to like that. Okay, so where do you go from here? Well, we are certainly here to provide as much support and assistance during this time as we possibly can at Amway. We're obviously making quite a lot of changes fairly quickly, so please bear with us as we're trying to also keep up with, the changes as you guys are as well. As you know, we are so lucky that we've had our brand new website launching a couple of weeks ago, which is now allowing you guys to make shopping a lot easier. We've also now got our click and collect up and running, which is fantastic because as of last week, our business centres are no longer open to the public, but you can still do your shopping online and choose click and collect as your delivery. And within 2 hours, you can go into your local business centre and still pick that up. So as I'm speaking, and as far as I know, it is still available in Australia. Unfortunately, it's not available in New Zealand at the moment. But in Australia, we still do have click and collect options available in all your local business centres. So that's a great way, if you were going to go into the store, you wanted something now, you've got that 2 hours from when you actually place the order to when you can go and pick it up in store. We've also put in place a lot of hygiene measures, so you won't be coming, into direct contact with the stuff. You don't need to go into the stuff. They're really taking every measure possible to keep you guys safe there as well. We've also, of course, got our customer service team. We can't forget these guys. They are working more extended hours just to make sure that someone is there for you during this difficult time, to show you what's available for you and how they can really support you through these challenges as well. The social media channels, so we are going to be updating these on a very regular basis, and these are really the best way for us to communicate
Hi there, can anyone hear? Let me know if you can hear me in the chat box.
Oh, okay, I can hear now. Oh my goodness, sorry about that, guys. Sorry, I didn't even check in the inbox, our questions. Okay, I can hear now. Awesome. All right, great. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly where we got up to, but let me just go through the last few slides with you guys. Apologies for that. I'm not sure what happened. I think, as a few people said, I think the internet probably got a little bit overloaded. Just shows how many people are trying to jump online these days. So where to go to for some more help and support. We really are here to help you through this journey. As I said, we've got our 8-point plan to really help you through. There's going to be lots of discounts, lots of free shipping options, a new campaign that will be coming out fairly soon, extra bundles for pay right. We've got our multipliers, our artist to studio sales, and of course our Stay Connected program as well. So luckily we had our new website that actually launched only a couple of weeks ago, which means that it's much more user-friendly for you guys to do your shopping and things like that. And one of the really great features is click and collect. So currently, as I speak, it could change, minute by minute. Click and collect is the only option that we have available for the business centres, and they are only available in the Australia business centres. So New Zealand is closed at the moment, so you can't even do click and collect there at the moment. But in Australia, you can do click and collect at the business centres. They are taking a lot of extra hygiene measures at the moment, just for your safety as well. So they're working behind closed doors and yeah, very hygienic. So when you go and pick up, you won't be coming into contact with people there really either. They'll just hand you your product and good to go. We also have our customer service team who are working incredibly hard, doing longer hours, just to make sure that there's someone to talk to if you do have a question around any of this, and about moving forward with anything digital. To get more information, the best place to go is really our social media channels. We can really keep up the most up-to-date information on our social channels, and not only up-to-date information, but as I mentioned, we're really going to be doubling up our efforts to show you how to build a great Facebook page as well. So lots of lives will be coming up, lots of information on our Facebook page. So if you're not on our Facebook page, make sure you go in and actually like the page and join the page. On our website, we have created a new page, which is called amway.com.au/stay-connected. I did see quite a few of you from New Zealand, so that would be amway.co.nz/stay-connected. Also, I'll just quickly mention that we've gone through, obviously, some of those tips on how you can build your social media brand, but I'd highly recommend that you do jump onto our e-learning social selling course, because there are some rules and regulations around what you can and can't do on social media, being an IBO. And in particular, if you're at all interested in health and wellness, we do have a special e-learning on the rules around particularly NutraWay, because they are slightly different to some of the other brands as well. So they're TGA regulations too. So really important, stay on top of those, because that's really, really important when you are building a brand as well. But then you can follow the tips that we went through too. All right, does anyone have any questions tonight? I'm just going back, sorry guys, I think everyone's written can't hear. Just took me a while to see those ones. Any other questions? No, all good. All right, well, thank you so much for joining tonight, guys. I apologize for those technical difficulties in the middle. I hope that you didn't miss out on too much. If you do have any questions at all, please feel free to send me an email. You can just shoot an email back to the email that you'll get to say thanks for coming tonight, and we will be able to see that and answer it for you, or at least send it to the right person to get it answered. take care of yourselves. Please stay safe, stay indoors as much as you can, but do get yourselves, a little bit of fresh air and some exercise each day, but really stay safe. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you next week for Module 2, when we'll be focusing in on Zoom and Facebook Live. All right, have a great week. Speak to you then. Bye.